Hi, I'm Michelle Conlin from Business Week magazine. One of the big themes in our summer double issue, which is hitting stands now, is how to manage work-life balance without going crazy. And here today to talk to us about that are the authors of the book Why Work Sucks and How to Fix It, Jody Thompson and Callie Ressler. Let's just start there. Why does work suck?
Well, work sucks because people don't have control over their time. Just think having to ask permission to leave at 4 o'clock in the afternoon or come in at 9 in the morning. I mean, we're adults, right? And we have to ask permission to do what we need to do every day. It's totally broken.
Like kids, it's sort of the kid-daddy paradigm, right? And what should it be?
Yes, right now, today, it's very much an adult-child relationship in the work environment. And what we are hoping to create is an environment where managers are coaches and mentors, and employees can have control over how they spend their time and be treated like the adults they are that are doing good work for the company.
So all about measuring output, not measuring hours, or as we like to call it, button chair syndrome, where you can be sitting there but maybe not getting anything done. There's been so much talk this summer about $4 gas, and is the 4-day work week the answer to the $4 gas problem? And a lot of companies are switching to a 4-day work week. The two of you argue that that's not the answer. Explain why.
You know, it's crazy. First of all, what it's doing is it's taking people from one box to another. So now they're still driving 4 days a week, and on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they're running around doing all their errands. It really hasn't changed anything, and we're still thinking about work in time. People still have to put in their time and go to a place. It's not changing anything.
That's interesting, because you can, of course, work from anywhere, as you well note in your book. The two of you, I was witness to your transformation at Best Buy and the work culture there, and you instituted there what you all call a results-only work environment. Why do you think other corporations have been slow to take this up?
Other corporations really wanted to wait and see what happened. They want to take that wait-and-see approach and find out what results other companies will get. It's a great idea, sounds good in theory, but I want to see it play out a little bit more. But we are seeing a lot of progressive leaders, actually across the globe, that are starting to contact us now, that have seen the success at Best Buy and that are ready to now take on this challenge and take that leap of faith and increase productivity, improve retention in their companies, and they're seeing results-only work environment as a way to do that.
So what's changed? Because I know something you point out in your book is a lot of managers have a fear over this. Wait, I'm not going to be able to see my people. How am I going to be able to manage an invisible workforce? And they get very afraid about this radical change. What do you think is changing with the managers who are warming to this idea?
I think part of it is that Generation Y is starting to come into the workforce, full boat. So they're seeing a lot more people coming in that have a different way of thinking about how they do work, and they're pushing the envelope on that. So before, managers were monitoring the hallways, and they had this false sense of security that if people were in their cube or in their chair, they were actually doing work. And if you take that away, managers are concerned that people don't know what they're supposed to be doing, and really that's the manager's job, is to say, here's the output that I need from you. Here's exactly how we're going to measure it, and then let people do it. And that's just not the way the workplace functions today.
And so, in a way, what you're saying is by having a results-only work environment, it takes a crutch away from a manager, doesn't it? Because a manager really has to have a way to measure output besides just, hi, I see Sherry in the chair over there. She must be cranking it out, right?
Yes, results-only work environment completely clears the deck and leaves in its wake only the results, only the business results that employees are supposed to be achieving for the company. And the amount of time people are spending on that goes away. The amount of face time they're putting in goes away. The need to ask permission to spend time in a certain way goes away. And all that's left is those business results that end up actually increasing productivity by an average of 41% for a company.
I wanted to ask you about that. That's interesting, 41%. That's got to make anyone excited. And that's not just smoke you're blowing there, because I know that you have had an academic group, I believe, from the University of Minnesota studying you. And is that where you found this 41% productivity increase from that academic study?
From the academic study, found out more about work-family conflict. But how we figured out the productivity issue was we actually asked people how much more productive they think they are in a results-only work environment. So people would say anywhere from 10% to 90% or whatever that would be. Then we asked the managers, looking at the business you're running and what business results you're driving for, is the perceived productivity matching business results? And they were.
Interesting. And they were obviously able to measure that in a quantifiable way.
Yes.
I'm wondering, too, about what some of the unintended consequences might be in terms of just healthcare costs. I know you've also found that a results-only work environment decreases employee stress for a lot of employees. And then wouldn't that potentially affect a company's healthcare bill if their employees are healthier and not as stressed out?
Yeah, eventually, that's our hypothesis, yes.
Okay.
We haven't done a study of exactly that yet, but the University of Minnesota National Institutes of Health study did find that stress is lowered very much in a results-only work environment, and that the work-family spillover that you would think might happen by this 24/7 results-only work environment you're on all the time doesn't exist. There isn't any negative work-family spillover.
That's
in a row.
interesting. So it's a potential solution for one of the curses of the knowledge worker. Are we going to see more big companies go this way? Are they already going this way and just not talking about it publicly because they're leery of getting any press? Tell us about that.
I think some companies are they're experimenting, and they're trying to push the envelope a little bit on flexibility. I think because it's a social change, it's going to take a lot of people from the ground pushing up towards managers, and then managers who are sort of thinking about, do we want to try something like this, they're going to take that push and they're going to experiment with it. It's just how a social change goes. It's that sort of groundswell that's going to start happening. Right. It's not going to go away. Change needs to happen. We can't keep going on like this.
Thank you so much, and we look forward to talking to you again the next time you're in town.
Let's be honest, when it comes to the corporate world, FaceTime creates the appearance of commitment. If you're in the office, you must be working hard. A few years ago, some companies started to rethink the concept, giving their workers flexible hours or flex time, or as it's called now, working remotely. But it's opened up a new can of company worms. Some thinking flex time is for slackers, others think it reduces absenteeism, and that the freedom of choosing when to work actually makes people more productive. Here's Greg Clarkin.
Lori Gerber is a client systems manager at IBM. She splits her time between working in her home office, meeting with clients at their places of business, and with her teammates at IBM.
Flexible time is not just for working mothers. It allows you to work from home early if you're an early bird and get your emails done, and then go and spend time with your customers during the day. And if you have to run an errand in the middle of the day, or go to the doctor, you're able to do that, and you always can open up the computer later at night.
Lori isn't concerned. Some people think flex time means not working so hard. She thinks she works as much or more, just at times when it makes more sense.
You're not required to send emails at 3 o'clock in the morning to show that, I was working really hard on a project, but at the same time, it's more about results. So if you can get the results done, and it takes you 4 hours or it takes you 12 hours, as long as you do it, this job offers you the flexibility to accomplish it.
Now, as for the criticism that flex time doesn't allow for office camaraderie and cooperation, Lori disagrees. She thinks talking on the phone and sending emails is interaction, and with today's technology, it's easier than ever for employees to stay connected to their offices and their clients. And joining us now to talk about it, Business Week's Michelle Conlin. Hi, Michelle.
Hi there.
Let's talk a little bit about what does flex time really mean?
It's working remotely, it's working virtually, compressed hours, working from home, all these things kind of fall under the rubric of flex time. Flex time used to just mean that you kind of played with your hours a little bit, maybe came in early or stayed late or something. But I just think of it as this whole idea that we can kind of put our office in our pocket and work anytime from anywhere is sort of becoming flex time.
Well, first it was companies were really kind of rah-rah about it, but why are they re-examining some of these issues?
So we're 6 years into the trend, and it's definitely the future, and it's great, and it's amazing to be able to untether workers from the workplace. But since we're 6 years in, now a lot of the people that were at the forefront of this trend can kind of now take a step back and say, did we maybe open the floodgates a little bit too much? Did we really think this through? Did we really put in the proper managerial training? Did we really make sure we had a way to measure output and productivity before we sent people outside? So it's kind of the natural second look and rethinking to try and make sure that we're using it when it works, but not using it when it doesn't work.
I mean, there are issues. You're not at the water cooler anymore. So what are some companies that are out there working on, what are they doing to really kind of bring that camaraderie back?
Well, IBM realized, they did a lot of research on themselves as an organization, realized that if teams didn't get together every 3 days, be it either virtually or physically, something was really lost that was important. And so there's now this mandate, this rule at IBM called the 3-day rule, where people have to get together every 3 days. The catch is they have to do it not to talk about a work assignment or complete something, but just simply to do it to kind of try and recapture some of that camaraderie that came from being physically together all day.
Okay, great. Michelle Conlin from Business Week, thank you so much.
Thank you.